August of 2016 and our Veteran of the Month by the Sons of the American Legion, Larry Fenner. Gosh, I've known Larry when I joined the post, 16, 17 years ago. One of the first guys that I met was always so welcoming and really kept that color guard in line. I know they miss him. Hey, Larry, as Sons of the American Legion, you know, we weren't there. We weren't in boot camp. We didn't get stationed elsewhere, off in another land. And so when we look around at all the guys that are here, you know, we wonder about their story and some of the things that they went through. And even when I know guys so well as I know you, I still didn't know your story, and this is a real blessing for us. So we're really happy to have you as our Veteran of the Month. Larry joined the service in 1961, the United States Army. That was an interesting story, how you got recruited to be in.
Yes, that was very different. I was hitchhiking 12 Mile on Northwestern Highway in Southfield, going to Berkeley to join the Marine Corps. And an Army recruiter picked me up, and the only reason he picked me up because my shoes were shiny. He talked me into going in the Army. That's how I got in the Army.
And so you get picked up on your way to go to the Marine Corps, and that's the Army snatched you away.
Yep.
So you go in, you go down for processing in Fort Wayne, and then off to Kentucky for boot camp. Tell me a little bit about boot camp. What was that like, Larry?
Well, it was, when you're young and dumb, you know, it was very interesting, and sometimes you wondered why you did this. But overall, once you got through it, you realized it was a good deal for you, and you actually kind of liked it. And then I went through advanced infantry training in Fort Gordon, Georgia.
Yeah, now that was, about eight weeks long also?
Yes.
So you ended up putting in almost 16
weeks in training.
Before they got, what was that like down in Georgia?
It was a little hotter down there, red clay, I'll never forget it. And we had an instructor, or DI, whatever you want to call him. And we always go on force marches, first of every month. We had to go on a 20-mile force march with full combat gear.
Wow.
And he carried a swagger stick, and he had no problems in using it. If you slowed up, bam.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so it was interesting.
So when you become advanced infantry, tell me a little bit about that. Is that a...
Just gives you a little more training, more, how should I say, more of a strike unit type thing. In other words, you're quicker to the draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. And we're proud to have you and I've noticed a little bit of that in Larry around here. That color guard's still scared of him. But also they were one of the best. So you then go and you get your assignment. Your assignment is Korea. You go to San Francisco, boat ride over, what was it, about 13 days?
No, it was 17 days over and then coming back. Usually I always said, you're going to go over on a boat and you're going to come back on an airplane. Well, I didn't. I wasn't that lucky. I came back on a boat again. I shouldn't say boat, it's a ship.
Yeah.
Troop ship. And 17 days over, 18 coming back.
What was that like in that ship? Some of the guys, it was okay for some of the guys?
I went through a storm. I'll never forget it. And watching the Swabby, one of the crew, the storm was so bad the ship was doing one of these numbers, floating back and forth.
Wow.
And they tied a rope around him and pushed him out the hatch and pulled the hatch shut because he had to go out there and tie stuff down.
Oh my
So
God.
it didn't get washed off. Then they ended up bringing him back.
Oh, you got to come back in, yeah.
Come back in.
Oh, yeah, you don't want to be left out there on
Right.
that.
And then I had to go to the boys' room, and you know, on a troop ship, it's just like a big long trench.
Trough, eh?
Yeah. And I couldn't even find room to go use the bathroom because everybody was puking their guts out.
Yeah.
I never got sick.
Boy, that's a blessing because there's nothing worse than being seasick, and I can't imagine it for that long.
Yep.
So we get to Korea, you get to Korea, and you know, at that time things are pretty tense in the world. We've got things happening down in Cuba. We have the Cold War is being ramped up. There's some definite tension. Here's this demilitarized zone. It's been that way since '53, which is as Larry Snowden pointed out to us, 800 soldiers, even after that, of 1953, have been killed in skirmishes. This is no walk in the park. This is dead serious.
Yes.
Tell me about what it's like for you.
Well, for me, it wasn't all that bad. My tour in Korea, while I was there was like 36 or 38 guys that actually lost their lives patrolling that DMZ and standing guard at outpost. So, made you think once in a while. We did have one guard, he was on guard at the, for the post. And a couple of the troopers were coming in late at night. Well, it was in a rainstorm. And you had a password. If you left the post, you had to have a password to get back on. Well, this guard kept yelling, "What's the password? What's the password?" The guy, he probably couldn't understand. Nobody really knows exactly what happened. But eventually, the guy started walking towards the guard, and the guard killed him. And it was one of ours.
Oh, boy.
So
That must have been hard, eh?
it
The
was
whole
for
group.
him, yeah,
Yeah.
especially the guard. I mean,
You
I
don't
think they ended up sending him home.
But they had to, yeah. Tell me, we see a lot about the weather in Korea. What was it like for you there?
Well, when you go to Korea, they issue you gear, snow gear, Eskimo gear we called it, with the big air boots and, parkas and, all the stuff that's supposed to keep you warm when it's 20 below zero and you're out there walking guard or whatever.
When you would go on missions, what would the missions consist of? How many guys and what kind of a?
Well, usually a mission, or it'd be a squad patrol, and you'd go out and you wouldn't get real close to the enemy per se, but you were out there to observe, at night with infrared glasses and stuff. I was lucky to be a radio man. I carried the radio on my back. That's when they had that big suitcase on your back.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And the sergeant, we're stopped on this ridge, and he says, "Stop." He gets the phone. He's calling into somebody. And when he hangs it up, he slaps me on the back with the receiver, to hang it up. And I tripped and went down the hill. Bang, 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 bang.
It wasn't funny at the time, I'm sure.
No, it wasn't, but he wasn't too happy about that. They came down, drug me back up.
How often would you guys go out?
I only went out a couple times while I was over there, so everybody got their time to go out.
Yeah, they get their baptism, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you stuck in with the service until '64. You came back on a ship. You then went to Colorado, and of course, there you're back on the mainland. You had a commanding officer at that location, and you may have re-upped and gone to Vietnam. But
Well, that's what happened. Came back to Colorado, and it was pretty easy duty. Matter of fact, they even used me one time for PT, physical training. We had a guy, he was real gung-ho, and he had a big old stage that was about 8 foot up in the air that he would do the workout, and everybody around him in the companies had to do the same stuff. Well, somehow or another, he snatched me out of the crowd. "You come up here, you know how to do this stuff." So he run me through all the drills on stage. Then I get done. I was shaking like a leaf, and he says, points at me, he says, "Now, you guys, watch what he did. I want you to do it that way."
oh boy, that must have
So
made
that
you
was
feel
like
great.
a feather in my cap,
And later they'd offer you to be an instructor, but you didn't want to come back because of the commanding officer at that post.
Well,
Tell me what put you over the edge on that.
I'll tell you what put me over the edge. Number one, he was the kind of guy that only company on the post, he had to plant flowers in front of the orderly room, and don't ever step on a flower. And then one night, on a stormy night, rainy like crazy, he calls everybody outside, running through the barracks. "Fall out, fall out, fall out." So everybody falls out in their skivvies or underwear. And we're standing out there, and he's ranting and raving. Finally, one of the platoon sergeants grabs him, takes him down, They made some calls or something. MPs come out, pick them up. That was the last we seen of them. They hauled him away in a straitjacket. But
Sorry to laugh.
before this, he wanted me to re-enlist. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'll re-enlist if you cut orders for Vietnam. That's when it was just starting. Because I wanted out of that outfit.
Yeah.
He said, I can't do that, and I need you here. And I said, well, so long, I'm getting out, but, which I ended up getting out.
And that was it. And you came back here, you settled down with Anna. You guys have had a great life here. And
Right,
both.
when I came home, not to interrupt you, Charlie.
No.
I went in, I lived in Southfield, Michigan. When I came home, my uncle picked me up at the airport and he said, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going home, Southfield. He said, no, you're not, you don't live there no more. That's why I'm here, to pick you up and take you to where you live, in Redford. That's where I live now. And across the street from where I lived was Ann Fenner. Well, it was Ann Kozakevich at the time.
Yeah.
Well, the next day, I guess, after I got home, I went someplace and I was coming home, walking down the street. She said, I'll never forget it. You had black pants and a red shirt on. And all I could do was watch. And I was going with her girlfriend at the time when I was in the service, writing all these letters. And Ann kept telling her, well, he's in the Army. He ain't, he's lying to you about all this stuff. He's being so good. And so make a long story short, Ann and I ended up falling in love, getting married in 1965. Been married ever since.
Yeah. And you've also done some great contributions here at the Post. We're so thankful. Like I say, when I first met Larry, he's a post commander for 3 years.
3 years.
And the district commander, I believe, for 1 year.
Yep.
And a guy that we can really be proud of here at the American Legion Post 32. These are the kind of guys that we're just so blessed to have as part of our team here. And as a gesture from the Sons of the American Legion, in the hallway as you come in the entrance, we have your picture along with why you're the Veteran of the Month and the years that you served. And we'll look forward to showing this DVD to the members at our meetings.
Cool.
And we'd like to present this to you as our August 2016 Veteran of the Month, Larry Fenner. How are we going to do this, Larry? How's that?
Hey, that works,
All right,
Charlie.
partner. One of my favorite people here, Larry Fenner, our August 2016 Veteran of the Month.